Hi guys, welcome. So I said I was going to try and make a card using the stamping I did last night. Here it is in all its glory, nice and dried. So those lovely pearlized enamel effects basics white, I'm not going to call it that. I'm going to have to come up with my own name for this. I think it's too long-winded. But as I said yesterday, where I place the blobby stuff on the blue, it's taken on that colour, which is actually really nice, really nice. And looking at where I put the black, that seems to have taken on some of the green. So it's really nice stuff. Love it. Okay, so hello and welcome. My name's Ruth and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So that means that I get to show you some gorgeous products that hopefully enable you to really think about what you would like to purchase if you're thinking of either starting a new hobby or just adding to your craft stash. You know, I'm here for you. I'm here to be that crafty, creative consultant just to help you along in your card making, scrapbooking, whatever journey. Okay, so if you need to contact me, it's really easy. You can go into the description below and just go to ruthtrice@gmail.com and just email me. Anyway, there's also other links there. I was just watching Esther do her unboxing, but while I was doing that, I also came up with this. And we're going to be I want to make a card that it'll be nice on the outside, but then when you open it, there's like this little kind of framed scene on the inside. That's what we're aiming for today, guys. So, oh dear, sitting on the trimmer. That's not a good start. I am going to grab, I think, a piece of Orchid Oasis for this. Now I've done it in inches so that if you guys who use inches would prefer, you guys in the States who have a slightly different size cardstock, this will fit your cardstock, and for us in the UK it just means trimming off a little bit off the edge. So I will go through the score measurements with you now, and I will have to just keep checking my crib sheet because I have not got these figures in my brain just yet. Let me just move some of these out of the way. I don't need them. There we go. Right, so we're going to score at 3.5. I think this is right. Oh well, if it's wrong, it's wrong, but I think this is right. 3.5. Yeah, it must be because that's what I've written here. 6 3/4. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Let me switch off my notifications. Right. 6 3/4. 7 1/4. Yeah, I was doing that calculation correct in my head. Then 10 1/2. Ooh, ooh. There we go. And then cut at 11 for us who are using A4 sized cardstock. And then what I want to do is cut an aperture into part of this. So I'm just going to fold these sections up so you can get an idea of what's happening. Also, so I can know what's going on, because, you know, I need to know too. Okay, so the idea is that you then will stick your card together. Now I think to make it easier to actually work, I'm going to cut a little sliver off that end. So if I were you, I would actually cut this at 10 7/8, so that gives you a little bit of leeway with the sticking. So don't need that slither. Okay, because when you go to stick this down, There we go. And that sticks down on there, like so. It just works better like that. Okay. Now I'm wondering if in the UK we could actually have that a little bit longer. But we can play with that. We can play with that. All right, so we've got this. Now we've got this section here. I actually want to cut a frame into that section. So what I'm going to do is place this in at I guess half an inch. So this score line needs to be half an inch from the edge. And what I'm doing is I'm going by the lines on my trimmer. Okay, I'm using that, and then I'm going to move my blade half an inch down and then score to half an inch away from the bottom, which actually works out at, oh, I'll tell you in a second because I can't really see what I'm doing. What's that? So 8 1/4 down to 7 3/4. Okay, that's 7 3/4. Okay, I'm going to turn that around and do the same again. So I'm looking for this score line to match the half inch point, and I'm running my eye down. I'm just, can you see that, guys? Yeah. So I'm making sure that that score line is in line with this line on the trimmer, and as long as everything is pushed really flat up, it should be okay, she says. So that up to half an inch. Okay. Now, if you're one of these people that might need to have a pencil line, that's fine. You can use a pencil instead. Okay, so I need... Oh, sorry. I need to stand up and have a look at this. I'm trying to do this sitting down. Not helpful. Okay, I know what. I'm just going to bring it up to... Oh, I can see the line across there. There we go. That's easy. So I haven't done this perfectly correct, but it's okay. I can go back in and join up the pieces in a bit. I'm hoping this is going to be worth it. I think it will be. There we go. That's what happens when you're designing something new. I had the idea in my head because I thought the image just would look so good with a frame around it. So I'm just snipping just to get that little bit that I missed earlier. Hi everybody. I will say hello to everybody in a second. I've just wanted to get started, get stuck in. Oh, who watched Paper Crafts and Piano with Julie earlier? So I did share this out on my community YouTube page if you did miss it. The lovely Julie, as was Kettlewell, who's now Sutcliffe, got married in New York a few weeks ago. Bless her. And then her and her husband have returned home and they've got COVID. But it was the 2-year anniversary of her and her now husband, doing Paper Crafts and Piano, where they basically sit and he plays the piano while she makes a card, and it's just such a lovely way to spend an evening watching them. Okay, so because this section across here, this is what I need to cut. I need to cut a piece to go inside, and I need to cut a piece to go on the outside. So I think what we'll do is we'll cut the piece to go on the outside, which is 3.5 inches. Or do we want a little border? She'll go for a little border. So if we go for 3.25 instead, there we go. And I get my little, and then I'm just going to cut 1/4 inch then off the bottom, so that I get an equal amount going all the way around. Is that correct? Is that correct? Yay! Did something right. Oh, hello, Papered Prairie. This is the first time I've joined from your studio. Welcome. How fun. So, hi, Valerie, Jan, Shaz, Darlene, Joanna, Mindy, Sally, Judy, Phoebe, Roberta, Pamela, Papered Prairie, Janine. Oh, sleep well, Joanna. Hi, Carol. Sheila, Jodie. Oh yes, I saw Esther did a sort of part 2, but I thought I can't wait too long, otherwise I'm going to turn into a pumpkin. So, okay, I'm going to do this. Oh, you know what? I'm going to move that over a bit because otherwise we're going to not see. Oh, you know what? I think I just might use this section because I want to see this. Okay, so I need just to double check what size out. So that's 3 1/4. So I'm going to cut off 3 inches from this end. And again, just cut off 1/4 inch from, oh, I was going to do it from the bottom, no, I'm going to do it from the top this time. Hi Anne, hi Georgiana. Okay, so I'm hoping this is just going to be a simple stick together now. So that's the one to go on the inside, and then this is the one to go on the outside. So let's stick this into place. So if you didn't see how I stamped this ocean scene, do check out yesterday's video. If you're a bit sort of messy phobic, probably not. It's a little bit, it does get a bit splattery to start off with, but it turns out okay. I mean, this is, I suppose, the benefit of seeing it after the fact. You know, you can see that, you know, it turned out all right. You know, it was okay. So then what we're going to do is just pop a little row of glue. Now, if you want to use your tear tape or your tape runner, you can do that for this, because of the way we're going to be sticking it, you can't get it too wrong. So basically hold this down nice and flat, then you're going to fold this section over the top and then hold that down. Now in hindsight, I think I should have done this to 3 3/4, so this measurement needs to all go up by 1/4 inch. But it wouldn't work for you guys in the States because your paper is not wide enough or long enough. I think we would get away with it in the UK. So then the idea is that that opens, oops, there we go. It's worth opening it up and then burnishing that section as well, so that when the person opens it, it's like a framed picture on the inside. So let's just make sure this is burnished beautifully. Hello, Navarana. A fun way to use this one-of-a-kind paper. Thank you. Yeah, I just felt it was nice to kind of show it off, really. So let's fold it that way in. Now I'm wondering if it would be nice to pop a little strip of something shimmery along the edge, just underneath. To kind of give it a bit of shimmer. Now I do have a piece of that gorgeous gold paper I showed you the other day. Bear with, I'm just gonna grab it. Oh, where did I put it? Oh, I definitely had it out the other day. Alright. Okay, I'm going to cheat. I am instead going to grab out a piece of this paper that's coming in July instead. This is some gorgeous glimmer paper. I I don't want to waste your time and faff around trying to find the other one. So I'm thinking, what about just a slither of that just down the edge, so that we hide that when it opens. So let me just check what that needs to be. So that needs to be 3 3/4. So if we cut 1/2 inch of this, that will be enough. Lovely. Did I get the ombre? Yes, I did, Judy. Yeah, it would look good, only this is larger than 6 inches, so it wouldn't fit. But yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. Right, let me think how I'm going to get this stuck on now. I think I'm just going to do a little, very thin layer, like so. And I'm going to put this up to the line, and I know this needs to protrude by 1/4 inch. So if I place my glimmer paper at 1/4 inch, so there's just that increment above, and that's what's really handy about our grid paper. We've got it in it's inches on one side and centimeters on the other. So whatever you prefer using makes life a bit easier. So let's just double check that. Yeah. Hi, Elaine. Elaine's uploaded a video. I feel like it's moved, but I don't know. I'm going to cut it and then check it properly. Right, so that piece is going to go on top. Excuse me. Oh, who said a border? Do you mean a border around this paper? That would look good, yeah. Maybe even I should have brushed it just with a bit of ink, just to make it a bit darker, a bit more ombre-like. Right, now the other thing one could do, if you wanted to be super fancy-dancy, is to have stuck maybe some die shapes, or, you know, if you've got... Oh, now, hold on, I'm having a wee think. I have got that die set with the shells. Oh, I'm thinking things. I'm concocting a plan. Oh, look. Ooh, right, hold on. Just double check what's in this. See, I'm wondering if I could cut some of that and stick it along the edge. Right. What colour to use? I don't want to make it too fussy, so I think I'll just go with this. Right, so I need to cut that out. I'll bring my... Now this die has a embossing folder that matches it, so when you cut it out, you can actually add extra texture to it, which is really fun. So let's just see what happens. The under the sea. Cindy is referring to a group chat that we're both in, and someone referred to the undersea card, but you know what predictive text is like? Instead of saying under the sea, undersea or whatever it was, it came out as the underwear card. So we've all had a little bit of a giggle about underwear cards, not under the sea. So I had to give some context to Cindy's comment there. Right. Yeah, because I replied, I haven't got this at that stamp set yet. The underwear one. Right, I'm wondering whether to pop it through this. Just to... Oh, shall I put some colour on there first as well? Now, the reason I'm using my finger is because if I was to use a brush, I would end up with ink too far into the creases, and I don't want that. So I'm using my finger a bit like you would use, I don't know, burnishing cream or like a metallic cream or something. Which I won't do the leaves because that won't be affected, but yeah, just trying to get a bit of ink onto those there. Yes, I have got a blue finger now, but it'll be okay. Okay, let's start this again. So that on there, that there, and that there. Pop it over. Grab you need your speciality plate because it's a 3D embossing folder. And then you just need your machine with plate number 1, plate number 4, and then run it through. Honestly, this chat is degenerating. Oh, Elaine was going to mow the lawn. Right, so there we go. Can you see that the impact that little bit of ink has made? It's nice. Right, so this was all because I realised I wanted to stick some little pieces under here. So I think what I'm going to do is cut down there. I should do it from that way around. Let's see what I'm doing. Cut that there. And cut. Actually, it might be easier to cut that bit of the shell. Oop. Okay, yeah, there we go. So that can be stuck just on the inside like so. Now shall we see if we've got a little bit to come down from above? Yes, we do. Let's cut that off there. And then we may have some tiny little pieces that could come on from the edge. Now I know I should have done this earlier. This is what happens when one is, you know, creating on the hoof. So I'm going to cheat and I'm going to use a little bit of a few of these glue dots because I don't want to get my fingers all sticky trying to apply glue. I'm just going to apply some glue dots where they will be hidden. Okay, so let's pop that up in there. Just need to trim that a little bit more. It's a bit tricky to get your scissors in there, but okay. Oh, actually, I quite like the idea of that coming out of the frame. Oh, yes. Okay, I like that. See, these things, I like it when these things happen accidentally. So I'll put one there. One in just that little corner there. That little area. Just that one there. And scoot that in. Do that. Push that down. Oh, yes. Oh, I like it when a plan comes together. Then we'll stick that a bit just in there. And it's quite nice. It sort of looks like magic, you know, these things are floating around. Now the trick is, make sure that you're putting these glue dots completely onto your card, that they're not hanging over in any way, because when you place them underneath, there needs to be no extra sticky areas. Oh, there we go. Hello, Janice. There we go. So there we go. Our fancy card made from that Stamp One Sheet Wonder from last night, and it's like a framed box card idea, so that when the person opens it, they'll have the inside as well. Now I'm thinking, to make it go all together, shall we just stick this on the inside as well? I think we just carry it through, and then we can hide my boo-boo there. Yes, let's do that. So I'm going to cut that there. I'm just going to eyeball this. Where do I need to cut it? 3 3/4. A nice bit of wink on the bits in the corner would be nice, says Cindy. Thank you, Jan. It's raining cats and dogs all of a sudden. Oh no! Weather can do that. It can go from, yeah, hardly anything to a lot, can't it? Yeah. A bit of wink. Yes, I think I will do a bit of wink. Oh no, that's wrong. Wrong measurement. How did I do that? Oh, pants. Is that 1/4 of an inch too small? You know what, I'm just going to have to glue it on and then cut it after. Because trying to cut a piece of cardstock that's got glue on it is a nightmare. Just going to pop a glue dot. I'm just going to roll it up slightly and place it on there. Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that dry because that's still quite wet, that glue. And I'm going to come back and cut it, and then I'll get my little friend on it. Okay, so yeah, that's how you fix that boo-boo. Now we did talk about wink. Did we say a bit of wink on the shells? I did have a new of these ones out the other day. Oh, here it is. Hi, Mona. Welcome. Hi, Nydia. Oh, I'm getting glue on my scrap paper now. Right, let's just do a bit of wink along these. Sometimes when you want, if you're using a pen, but you want it to look a little bit more natural and not too contrived, hold your pen at the end and just relax your hand and allow it just to kind of do its thing. So it's a bit more of a random effect. Yeah, you see how I'm just kind of letting it do its thing. Because sometimes when you're being very specific, it can end up looking a bit unnatural. Okay. Right, I'm going to move that over for a sec and let that dry, and bring on a piece of stamping that I did quite a while back now, and it just so happened I was trying to put something away on my shelf and I spotted some colour at the back of my shelf, and I was like, what's that? And I realised that there's this piece of paper that got stuck. So I pulled it out and remembered that I had done this a little while back. So I'm just trying to put my die away before I lose it. Right, so this I stamped quite a while back, and I haven't got a clear idea of where I'm going with it. I just want to cut it up and use it to make some nice cards. I've pre-cut some rectangles and some scalloped rectangles here, and thought it'd be nice just to sort of do something with it. Have I got, I'm just trying to think if I've got one of the three of these that I could perhaps layer on a card. Just see if I've got the bread. Yeah, I was wondering if I could just sort of show off the paper really by putting it obviously up within the scallop circle, or some, I'm sorry, scallop rectangle. Very red these are going to be. I wonder if I could cut out a panel to go on there and then cut out a smaller panel from the centre of it to go on that section. Okay, right, so let's think about how this is going to get cut up then. So if I use one of my templates, just to give us a rough idea of how this is going to look. So there we go. So if we're just going to make sort of standard cards, this is kind of where I'm heading with this one. So Prairie, Papered Prairie and Mona, do you know each other then in real life? We always say in real life, but actually we have lots of friends in real life that actually we've never met nowadays, thanks to the interweb. So it's funny saying that. Hi, Carol. Right, so I'm sorry this paper's a little bit scrumpled. You know what, let's turn it to a non-scrumpled bit. I'm going to cut this at 10 centimetres just to get ourselves started. And if I go with that one and that one, I'm thinking if we cut this then at 14.35 or thereabouts, that could go on there. And then so this wreath or design was stamped onto the pink side of the papers that were in they are currently in the mini catalogue. So these are still available. Oh, you're a friend of Phoebe's. Hi, Mona. Oh, I may have heard. Yes, it's ringing a bell, that name now. Okay, so I just want to, just so that you can see where I'm heading, where my brain is heading with this. The idea was that would go on there, that would then go on there, but then I'm going to cut out a section of the patterned paper to stick. So this sized, yep, so that size one to be cut out of that, and then I need to find a slightly bigger one. There we go, that one, or even that one. Because I quite like there's some stitching on there. So in order for this to work then, I need to probably use a little bit of washi tape just to hold this in exactly the right spot. So let's pop that there. And it's just a case of eyeballing it really. I know what, let me just remove this because that's a little bit distracting. And get a bit of washi tape. Now, because I don't want the washi tape to stick super sticky to... Oh, do I need to get more? Yes, I do need to get more. Okay. The last of the... Oh, I've got a little bit left on here. Because I don't want this to be too sticky, I'm just going to pop it onto my top there, like that. Just to take off some of the sticky wicky. Stick that. I think that one will be fine actually. I think that'll be okay. Don't need to do much. Now this one is a bit more interesting because we've got this lovely kind of flourish up here. And I'm wondering then if it would work with that moving. So that's to go on that one. I don't necessarily have to use the two of them, but I'm wondering if that would work a little bit lower down. Oh, mind you, you don't see it. I know what, let's see what happens there. Oh, I like that. Okay, so let's go for cutting this. And actually that works really nicely because we've got those little flowers there and we've got the big one there. So I'm just going to try and make sure that this measurement here and here are roughly the same. I'll just come in a little bit. There we go. Oh, thank you, Janine. I think tonight's a quiet night. I think. So hello if you're watching on the replay, because I can see that there are not huge amounts on the live tonight. But regardless, it is always lovely to know there are people who are interested in watching what I do. And please do, if you enjoy the videos that I create, please do share it out. Because over the years, this channel has become part of my income stream. So it's not just a case of me just making these videos to show people what to do with the products, which is what I originally did it for my customers, but I've also ended up with lots of people from around the world watching, which is really exciting. So, right, let's just take that off very gently. Very, 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 very gently. There we go. He gave my usual 2 thumbs up. Oh, some of you have got 2 devices. Yes, I've heard about this. Some of you are logged into 2 devices, so you give me 2 thumbs up. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that works, but right, very careful. So peel this back. There we go. Ah, thank you, Elaine. Right, let's come a bit closer. Move closer. That's what I always think that when I say, come on, should we move closer? Who remembers that song? Now, I just need to take a little bit of fluff off the sides of this because I think my blade needs changing on my trimmer, so there we go. Right, so let's get this stuck down. So I hope this sort of video is helpful for those of you who do wonder what to do with these stamped one sheet wonders, because I do get people saying, what do I do with it? Let me check I've got this card the right way up. Yeah, I have. It happens sometimes, you know. Right, now I've got to find the one that goes this one, not that one. Oh, that one. Oh yes, because I wanted to see the stitching on it. I'm wondering if that would... Oh, that's nice. So that can go on there, and that can go over the top. I'm wondering whether to run that through an embossing folder, just to give it a little bit more detail. I've got the new wood one. Here it is, this one. Or do I just run the frames through? I don't know, I quite like the idea of maybe sticking that onto there and running all that through in one. And then having that frame plain. Right, okay, I'm just gonna go for it. And then you can see what the results are, and if you don't like it, well, you don't have to do it, and if you do like it, you can. So stick that on there. Pop that in there. Is that straight? Why does that not look straight? Okay, that's better. Right, into the ringer. I mean, the cut and emboss machine. It does work like a ringer, you know, like a clothes ringer. Oh, I like that. Yeah, it just gives it a little bit of extra interest. I think that's nice. Right, now I've got to get this the right way up though, because look, that was meant to fit in there like so. So there we go. And I am wondering whether to use some dimensionals. There we go. Oh, there we go, the bigger ones. Right, I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue around the edge of here. And pop that on there. Oh, now I've got to get this right. Right, okay, move that over because I'm trying to fit this just inside that lovely detail of the dots on the inside of the scallop. So there we go. Hi Susan. Hi Bev. Right, let's pop a few of these dimensionals on. Hi Carolee. Oh, Darlene, it's raining with Darlene as well. Are you in the same area as, was it Elaine? Hi Nessa. You've got the same weather system. Right, again, check that you're getting this the right way up so that there's some continuity. A little bit of continuity with that design. There we go. Oh, nowhere near each other. Oh, and in Miami as well. Maybe the whole of America is raining. Right, this is going to be a bit easier. I'm just going to stick that on there and that there. Okay, now, as usual, I'm going to say my thing about sentiments. Probably not going to put sentiments on these because I don't know what, where, who they're going to. So, so what I tend to do is just make them and then, I mean, me personally, I tend to write stuff inside. So I don't always feel like I need a sentiment, but I will talk through areas that I would possibly put a sentiment on these in a second. So let's just stick that down. And you could probably run this through an embossing folder as well. That would look perfectly acceptable. Why what, Phoebe? Okay, so I like this because you've got the flowers starting here and then it finishes outside the frame, which is quite nice. Okay, give that a good rub. So sentiments wise, because it's quite busy, my first thought is to maybe stamp a sentiment onto a dark piece of card. So either I think this is cherry cobbler, and then and stick that on somewhere so that it you know stands out. And I would heat emboss this with white. Okay, why are you sending the card? Oh, I don't know why I'm sending that. I don't know who I'm going to give it to yet, Phoebe. Yeah, I don't know who I'm sending it to. That's why I don't know what to put on it. And then sometimes I just think if it's just a generic card, or if it's a card that I'm giving and I'm writing a post-it note on the inside, because whenever I send cards to my customers and my team, I don't write in them. I either send a voucher or a note that's printed, so I don't actually usually write in them, so they can be left for whatever they want to use them for. So, but there we go. So those are 2 cards. So if I just bring back then the one that I did earlier and just fix my boo-boo. So earlier I was trying to stick a panel on here and I miscalculated the size. So because this had so much glue on it at the time, I decided just to let it dry. So now it's tacky. So I'm going to attempt to remove a lot of the glue using my silicone eraser. Now if you've got one of these and they're starting to get a bit icky on the corners, all you do is you snip away the icky bit. Okay, so just snip that away. So I was just thinking, I'm not using my Stampin' Up! Snips. That's why it's not working so well. Those are just like really cheap as chips scissors. There we go. That's so much easier. So these scissors are super sharp and like butter, like butter. Right, bin that. Okay, so you get your rubber. Now, fortunately, Stampin' Up! Used to sell this product, but they do not anymore, and it's such a shame because the Tombow glue, I don't know if you know the technicalities of it, I believe has a tiny bit of silicone in it, so that is why when it dries tacky, but whereas PVA and you know normal, like, is it Elmer's glue you guys use in the States, doesn't dry that way. Okay, so I've got most of that off now, so I'm quite happy to put this back into the trimmer and cut it, knowing that I'm not going to get too much sticky onto my blade now. So I'm just going to pop that in, and I'm actually eyeballing where the glimmer paper is. Or am I? Am I doing that? Or am I going to just do it by... Okay, I've lined up my crease. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, just waiting to see if there was another one. Okay, I've lined the crease up with there and there because there's a slight overhang on there, but never mind. I pushed down really hard on my blade. There we go. Yes, they have brought back the embossing buddy. Oh, yes, with some friends. The embossing buddy now has friends. It has a lovely brush. And it has this gorgeous pair of tweezers, which I've now already lost. Oh, there it is. Yeah, these are fab. They're so heavy duty. Really, really nice. Okay, there we go, guys. So if you've just joined, this is what we did earlier. And I went through all the measurements, but I'm happy to give them again. I will also take a photograph of my little measurement chart. Now, would it be helpful, actually, if I do a new chart to include the section that I ended up having to put on What do you think? Do you prefer it as I made it and putting on the extra panel, or would you prefer it if I gave you the actual what the size should have been? Because I can do that very easily. All I've got to do is take a photograph of that template. So do you prefer it with the little piece there that you add on yourself, or what do you think? I think on reflection as well, I wouldn't have cut off that section at the top and the bottom. I would have just left it to go from top to bottom completely. Yeah. I think this needs a little bit more wink on the edges of the, just on the edge of the frame. Thank you. There we go. Right, again, I haven't put a sentiment on this, but I would probably put a panel on the back here, and that would be the area that I would write my message in. But that, I think, would look so lovely on someone's mantelpiece. It's like a, I was going to say it's like a triptych, but it's not really. It's a card, and then you open it, and then there's more card and scenery inside. So there we go. Right, I'm going to leave it there tonight, guys. Excuse me. And thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that was helpful. I will bring back the measurements. So you need to have a piece of cardstock that measures 11 by, now I had 11 by 8.5, but that's because of our UK measurements. But if you're using, sorry, not 8.5, 8, mine is, sorry, US measurements are 8.5, ours is 8.25, but it's no biggie. Excuse me. So you need to put your cardstock into your trimmer and score at 3.5 inches, 6 3/4, 7 1/4, 10.5, and then cut at, rather than cutting at 11, I would say cut at 10 7/8. Okay, because you just need that, a little slither off that, in order to stick it and for it to work effectively. So I'm going to say cut at 10 7/8. Yeah. Okay. Or at 15/16, that kind of thing. Please leave a link for the flower one sheet wonder. Oh yes, I can do that. If I, yeah, I will just have to do a little search for it, Elaine. Yep, I'm happy to find that, and I will put a link for this one sheet wonder as well in the description. Now, in terms of products that I've used, I've basically used Orchid Oasis cardstock to match the Orchid Oasis in there, and then I believe this is Cherry Cobbler to match the redness. I don't think I, oh yes, I did use a bit of Cherry Cobbler there. That's Cherry Cobbler card. Then the dies that I used were the rectangle framelets and the, what's these? The scalloped contours. Okay, so that's in the main catalogue. And then the other item that I've used is this gorgeous glimmer paper, which is coming in July. But if you're a demonstrator, you can order it now. And then the dies and the embossing folder are the ones that goes with the Friends Are Like Seashells ones. So I will list them in the description and with the codes as well, just to make it easier, so that when you place an order, you can just, instead of having to search for the item, if you've got the item number, and that's why I've started adding them to my descriptions, you can just pop that into the shop and, you know, hit go, and it will be there. So yeah, if you've got any questions about ordering, please let me know. If you're thinking of ordering over £150 worth, then it's worth you not using my host code. Okay, so if you're ordering under 150, use my host code because I'll send you a voucher. But if you're ordering over that, just receive some extra goodies that Stampin' Up will give you. And yeah, again, if you want to talk through that, if you've never placed an order before, I'm happy to talk through that. Right, thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Hope you have a great evening, morning, day, wherever you are. And if you would like a copy of the July to December mini catalogue, please drop me a line as well, ruthtrice@gmail.com. And also, I have started advertising the Class 1 Zoom class for the 21st, Tuesday the 21st of June, which is a week and a bit away. So if you want to take part in that, please email me, ruthtrice@gmail.com. Lots of love. Take care for now. Bye.